Hey guys, and welcome back to the WD Black Cup powered by AMD Ryzen. It is a new day. This is going to be the first half of the lower bracket in the semifinals between Team Fangs and the Rad Syndicate. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster for today. And joining me on the panel, it is going to be Aggressive, caster and analyst. Now, Aggressive, I'm super excited to be casting here with you. How are you feeling about this matchup?
Dynamic duo is back once again. So let's talk about the other dynamic duo that we're going to be showcasing on this matchup as we move into the map preview screen itself. Now, Team Fangs as a team, they have made massive strides in the competitive scene. They're a team practically a little bit unknown, with coming in with such an explosive force, now going up against a really well-known team of their own accord, Rad Syndicate. Now, Rad Syndicate, they had an explosive showing with Cliché popping off massively when it came to their own matchups previously in the lower bracket. So I'm really looking to see how these two teams are going to be facing off against each other, because on the map of Ascent, it's all about strategy and it's all about consistency.
Indeed, and if we do get to a map 3, it will be split. Map 2 is Haven. Now, Haven and Split are two maps where we last saw Team Fangs. They stole the show. They played a particular team comp on Haven and then a different one on Split. Now moving into the agent select screen, I'm excited to see what each member from Team Fangs will be going on to, because their dynamic is interesting. Their members can be a duelist one moment, then they can be a sentinel. There's nothing really set in stone, and I think that's what really makes Team Fangs so unique and so exciting to watch. Now, on the other hand, the Rad Syndicate, they've been around for the longest time. When you think about the poster child for this team, it is definitely going to be Paradox. He has been there from beginning, and I do believe that Master and Deoxys, they have been by his side for the longest time. Relic Cliché. It's great to see the Rad Syndicate make it so far in the competition. They've had some ups and downs, but right now, they look pretty stable as is. So the compositions are about to be locked in, and both the teams, they should be very much ready to get map number 1 on Ascent started. Now, Ascent being the type of map that it is, the fact that there's a lot of long range to play with. Ascent is where the Jet players truly shine, and looking at the compositions is a little bit different. But what do you think about it here? There's no Jet coming out from the side of the Rat Syndicate.
Biggest question mark for me in this matchup was actually seeing Paradox is opting to go for that Omen. Normally, we always, and I mean always, see him either on the Jet or that Reyna, and them not having either basically means that they are going into that much more utility-based playstyle. But on the map of Ascent itself, it's a little bit of a question mark for me. Yes, the Jet is really important in my eyes on this particular map because of the opping power that she has. And Ascent is a map based around a lot of op potential. But at the same time, I do understand what the side of Rat Syndicate are trying to do. They are trying to deny the operator pick coming out from the side of Team Fangs, because we know for a fact how strong that operator can be in the hands of Smoke A. Smoke A is just an absolute menace when he's playing down on his own turf and playing down in his own rights. So I do believe having that Phoenix and having that Raze in your arsenal to use all of the utility, the hot hands, the flashes, will give you that little bit of an edge to move on forward. But let us see what happens down on this first pistol round.
And here it is, the Rat Syndicate starting out on the defensive side, while Team Fangs pulling out the plans for this attack. This will be the pistol round. It's all about your accuracy. You got to get your shots right. Every single shot is going to count. Take out those heads. Both teams with a very slow approach. The Rat Syndicate holding down the fort, not too aggressive. Master here in mid-bottom, just waiting for the right time. And we can see Maverick dishing out that owl drone just to get a little bit of information, as well as Cactus laying down the dark covers. And it's up to the Rad Syndicate to kind of figure out what Team Fangs intends to do. No mid control that they're gunning for, but instead they're going to move through the main. And the Reyna, she's going to throw out that Leer to start it all off. Relic's holding it down on the B site. He's going to take out Smoke A, and Cactus finds a kill onto Cliché. Headshot, he steps in, and that is just absolutely amazing. Headshot is the sub for the side of Team Fangs, and he's fitting in very nicely. Paradox going to pick one off. with a headshot, Deox is just removing that turret placed down by Coley. Paradox coming out on top, Cactus falls, and with a one-man advantage, Coley's gonna even the playing field, but Master begs to differ. The spike is taking. Deox is going for the defuse. Here comes Coley. He finds the headshot. Make that a triple kill. Coley with the clutch. That was absolutely nuts. Team Fangs securing the first round.
This was a really crucial round for them as well. Previously, we did see it for the fact that Coley, he was an absolute menace on this killjoy. Every single time we saw him on the Sentinel pickup, he basically just popped the hell off, being an absolute beast when it came to those lurks and also coming down to those side holds. And he just showcased to us why he is so good on the Sentinel pickup. Primarily because you do have to remember that the Sentinel players always have the most raw mechanical power over anyone else, because you do have to remember that they are the anchors of the team. They're the backbone of your entire squad. If anything goes wrong, it is the Sentinel to clutch it all out, in most cases, of course. So he played that round beautifully, and now forcing the side of Rat Syndicate down onto this eco round. They're gonna be on the back foot, but at the same time, with this push coming down onto the side of A, Deoxys, he needs to be careful, otherwise he's gonna be biting a bit more than he can chew.
Coley finding first blood here. Team Fangs looking to push their lead. Full eco on the side of the Rat Syndicate. Not going to spend a single dime on anything. Just going to rely on those classics. Master here putting it back. The dark cover just blocking off a bit of vision. I do believe. And that is Smoke A. Finding a killer to Paradox. 2 down on the side of defense. It is a round definitely leaning heavily in favor of Team Fangs. The Rat Syndicate left with 3 members. Cliché. He's going to go for a very aggressive push. Firing away. The metal door comes down. And Coley is looking to secure that plant.
Spike planted.
Now with the plan going on through Cliché, making his way down onto the side of Heaven to see what he can find, but the positioning coming out from the side of Cactus could be detrimental to Cliché if he's not careful. Headshot machine gets a good kill down on the Relic. Coley coming in massive with his own triple kill. Triple kill down in the round number 1, triple kill in round number 2. He's out for a vengeance against the side of Rat Syndicate. They want to take them down as fast as they possibly can to make it their own. 0-2 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. But you do have to remember that last round was an eco round, and now finally it's going to be the first buy round for the side of Rat Syndicate.
Coley's absolutely popping off. 6 kills, 2 rounds in, and that lockdown is ready. That is going to be huge, especially on the side of attack. When you run the Killjoy, I personally like the Killjoy on Ascent solely for the fact that ultimate is very useful. Once you do get on site and you secure the plant, Killjoy has a bunch of abilities to utilize just to keep that spike a little bit more safe. Now, moving into round 3, we do see the Rat Syndicate. They're going to have huge investments, a bunch of rifles and whatnot. And what's going to be really cool is that Smoke A on that jet, he's going to pick up that operator.
This attacking side of the operator will be a little bit of a question mark for me, Oppo, primarily because you do have to remember that all the other members of the side of Team Fangs, they are all on Spectre buys, and I'm a strong believer that whenever your team is playing the bonus, you should be playing the bonus as well, picking up a Spectre for yourself or maybe a Stinger. Play for a lot of these close range engagements instead of playing for these long range fights itself. And honestly speaking, here is where the biggest flaw is going to be coming in. If Smoke A gets one tapped out of existence with this push coming down from the side of Deoxys, or will he be the one to try and decide it all? Because the fast push is coming down, ladies and gentlemen, from the side of mid itself. But with that recon ball going on through, it's going to be a beautiful kill down on the Ratmaster. Smoke A getting full fruition of that operator, getting the first initial pick off onto him. And already with the push coming down onto the side of B main, ladies and gentlemen, it could be over for their side, but Cliché chimes in onto headshot, stops out the push, and that's going to be even Stevens on this player card already. 4 versus 4 on the map, but the plant is going down for the side of the attackers.
Shots are being fired. The Ox is going to pick up Coley, and Cactus there with a return kill. 3v3 situation. And it seems like Smokey is still very much alive, but Relic's going to find one. Make that 2. Smokey with 6 HP, and he's gonna try and go for that save. That operator was a huge investment, and the Rad Syndicate with a very successful retake to stop Team Fangs in their tracks. Now, when we're looking at this matchup, I do feel that the skill level of both teams are relatively similar. So, there might be a few back and forth situations, but the Rad Syndicate, it looks like they came out online. They had their buys. Relic there, finding that double was just huge for the Rad Syndicate.
Now, that last round, once again, as I stated before, whenever your entire team is playing for the bonus, you should be playing for the bonus as well. I'm thinking of a situation where this operator buy did not really come out and they opted to go in for a full stack down onto the side of B, playing for those crossfires instead of relying on that operator. Having that one man down whenever you're playing the bonus with just Spectres is not gonna be helpful, but look at Colina Cactus. These two guys just absolutely demolish those single peaks coming down from the side of Rad Syndicate, and they do need to be careful. If they opt to go in for too many single peaks, they are literally walking into their waiting arms of the side of the attackers, ladies and gentlemen. Already, Fangs, they have the 2-man advantage, and a lot of the members of the side of the defenders, they do not have the guns to work with. They only have Bulldogs on their side. Masters tries to go in for the peak, but Smokey is going to be there, coming down from the side of top mid to make sure he gets that kill for his buddy. Taking us down, all ready to do a 2 versus 5 scenario. And pretty much, they can go to any side that they want to. It's either going to A or going to B from the side of mid.
Team Fangs, they did not like the fact that the Rad Syndicate took them out. And it seems like another investment there for Smoke A. And, oh, sorry, no, he carried it over. That was my bad over there. But Smoke A with the operator did find the pickle hot to master there in mid. So that was huge. It was a double peak. It definitely worked. And make that a second kill for Smoke A onto Relic. Cliche, last man standing. He's going to dish out that recon bolt. And Colby has a perfect view of the last member, but Ed shot there, he is going to take him out. 3-1 on the scoreline, Team Fangs. Now, when we look at Ascent, most teams, they look to hold it down on the side of defense. And when it comes to attack, a lot of rotations are required. I'm actually really impressed with Team Fangs taking each round very slow, adjusting based on the information that they're getting, and they're going for that site plan. It's really up to the Rad Syndicate to kind of read through the movements of Team Fangs and figure out a way to stop them moving into their territory. So this is going to be Cliche here with the Ghost. An eco round for the side of the Rad Syndicate. And, a couple of pickups will definitely serve them well.
Now, on this eco round, I'm really looking to see that the side of Rad Syndicate, they played a little bit more defensively, because every single time we see the side of Rad Syndicate lose, it's because they are just a little bit too aggressive on their own accord. But the Optus, he's playing it smart, opts to go in for those flashes, hands in tow, but he's not opting to go in for a peek. He peeks it late. The coordination is just not there, it seems, on the side of Paradoxes and the Optus, and this could be the detrimental factor, but Relics not being able to find those shots on the Smoke A, but he's still alive. No one knows where he is. The communication is not there, but Relics with the 2 taps, he actually redeems himself for those misses coming down on the initial part, so he does a lot. Ratmaster's getting one. Ratmaster trying to find a second, not gonna be able to find it, but Cliche could be the one to clean it up. But Headshot Machine, his spidey senses were tingling, and he does find that shot down onto Cliche. But honestly, Awful, that was a little bit too close. Relics missing those first initial 3 shots, and then getting such a beautiful 2-tap on 2 of the members. What just happened? What just happened? I don't understand any of it.
Oh, Relic. I mean, he did redeem himself with those 2 beautiful shots, taking 2 members down. The Rad Syndicate, a total of 3 taken down from the side of Team Fangs, so that was a pretty decent eco round for them. It's all right. Now moving in, we do see the investments, the buys, a Bulldog for Master, but Relic is definitely on point there. 5 kills, does have the neural theft ready, and Master as well with the Showstopper. So these 2 ultimates could be really good for them to try and take the lead, try to at least get the scoreline a bit more even. Team Fangs, Coley is just an absolute madman. I do remember that on Haven before, he did play this Killjoy. So what's really cool is that Smokey on the Jet, and I think Coley on the Killjoy Cactus on the Omen. This is something that they would play more often than not. We do have Edge Shot Machine stepping in for B2, who isn't available right now. So Edge Shot as a substitute fitting in very nicely. Now back into the action. Deox is here in Winery. He's going to find one. Edge Shot's being fired. Here comes the curveball. And Edge Shot's going to take him out. And here comes the attack onto the A side. Team Fangs, they're ready for the push.
That Express is just so dangerous, especially when you're trying to flash peek a corner. But look at the positioning coming down from Paradoxes. He could be the one to try and find it all. He opts to go in for the jiggle instead of the wide swing, and this could be detrimental for him. He wanted to get the first initial pickup, but Paradoxes, he pushes it a bit too late. Straight into the smokes, into the waiting arms of Headshot Machine. He gets a good headshot down on the Paradoxes, taking one out. Living up to his name for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Already, that is going to be a one-man advantage towards the side of the attackers, and they're trying to force themselves onto this A side. They need to be careful, though. Trying to take way too many fights could be detrimental for them. Cliche did spot on the head of Headshot as he went in for that jiggle, so he's going to opt to play it a little bit more further back. One more kill off his Hunter's Fury, so if he gets an opening frag down on the side of Aiming, that is all that he needs to try and deny this plan for as long as he can, but he cannot find that kill. And ladies and gentlemen, with the walls going on down, the shock darts raining on in. Who's going to be opting to go in for the plan? No one just yet. Preemptive shock darts, but still, he has that recon to opt to go in for that retake. 11 seconds left on the clock. The recons are going to be going on through. It's going to be a 3 versus 4 retake scenario for the side of Rat Syndicate.
Beautiful dark cover set up there from the side of Cactus, and here Team Fangs, they managed to secure the plant. Not a single member has died since, but Rally and Master, they're gonna find a kill each. Cliche, he's gonna come in and find one for himself, and Cactus, the last man standing, he takes down 2, and it's down to this 1v1. Master, he should be able to come out on top, and there it is. He had the health advantage. He takes Cactus out very nicely. He was hiding under the rafters, but that was a brilliant retake from the Rat Syndicate. They knew where to look, they covered all angles, and the takedowns were quick. That is the second point for the Rat Syndicate.
Now, once again, when you consider the composition that the side of Rat Syndicate have, it seems as though they are being a little bit too aggressive in the way that they're playing this composition itself. If they had a Jet instead of this Raze, I would understand what they were trying to do. Or if they just had a Jet and Raze combination, this type of pushes could work out because you're relying much more on your mechanical skill and you're using the utility to set you up for it. But this type of composition itself relies much more on the defensive play. You're opting to go in for retake scenarios, or you're trying to delay your opponents for as long as you possibly can before opting to go in for a couple of your own rotations. But this time around, it is Paradoxes being able to pick up that operator, but at the same time, a defensive Omen on an operator, they need to be careful, because if the side of Fangs understand that, hey, if Paradoxes is using his operator, he cannot deny us side control by using his smokes to deny us vision. So if they understand this, and if they're able to make that proper read and bait out Paradoxes on the other side, and they go in for a push onto the other side where he is not holding the operator, this could be an easy entry for the side of Fangs. So let's see what they do this time around to get that one-a-bit advantage against the side of Rat Syndicate.
Team Fangs losing Smoke A here. Maverick's gonna pick up that operator. And this is gonna be a tough one for the side of Attack. Scrambling around and playing in the mid-courtyard area, looking for an opening down catwalk into A short. Paradox holding that angle, ready to dish out that dark cover just to put a little bit more of a wedge
30
between
seconds left.
the defense and the attack. Edge shot moving across, and it seems like Team Fangs, they want to gun through the A short. Maverick's gonna find a kill onto Deoxys and make this an even kill. Paradox, he's gonna find Coley, and Edge shot gets a return kill. The Hunter's Fury is out. There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. They've got to get the plant. Cliche finds a kill on the Cactus with a beautiful Hunter's Fury. Maverick and Edge shot will finding a kill. Edge shot picking up the last one before the timer goes off, rendering this round a single point for Team Fangs. And that is just crazy, because if Edge Shot did not get that last kill, it was going to be a point for the Rat Syndicate due to the fact that there was a failure to plant the spike. But here it is. Oh my goodness, it was a mowdown here from the side of Team Fangs. So make that 5 points for the attackers. 3 rounds in the lead over defense.
do believe that the side of Rat Syndicate, they got a little bit too trigger happy with Paradoxes being able to get those first 2 initial kills. I thought that Paradoxes would have been opting to go in for the teleportation play to get himself out of that sticky situation, because no one was pushing through the smoke. You don't need to push through the smoke yourself, because just with an operator, you're not going to be able to find much. But oh my god! Radmasters, what was that shot? Relics chiming in with his own kill down onto one taps galore, ladies and gentlemen. But Cactus with that Phantom is going to be able to do a lot of damage on his own sidelines, because you do have to remember that Cactus, he only has 1 HP because of the shots coming down from the side of Relics. So 2 members are now playing with their lives nearly gone, but Radmasters again, another dig to the head of Headshot Machine. I wonder who's the actual Headshot Machine. It is actually gonna be Paradoxes, and Radmasters being able to find so many important kills, but Paradoxes being able to shut down an operator with just a deagle. This guy is absolutely nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Smokey not having the best start on his operator as we would have hoped for, but you do have to remember that this is an attacking side operator, so let us see what they can find. It is 2 versus 2 on the map. Masters is extremely low, but he was able to pick up a gun for himself. I do believe, no, he was not able to. So already, ladies and gentlemen, Fangs, they are on the top foot, because you do have to remember that Omen, he does have his ultimate, so Maverick, whichever side he clears, that's the place where they're going to be pushing into.
Maverick taking this one step at a time. The spike has to be planted.
10 seconds left.
Maverick, he's gonna get some information. He's gonna take out Master now with that ultimate coming in. There isn't any time for Cactus to go for that plant. And Maverick's gonna find the last kill onto Cliche. But this was a round for the Rat Syndicate. They bought a lot of time. It was really good circumstance that they played. Unfortunately, losing all lives. Let's take a quick look at their economy. Now the Rat Syndicate with the final investment, Paradox, he's gonna put all of that into the operator with some light armors. And on the side of Team Fangs, they still look pretty alright, you know. But with this 2-round lead, Team Fangs, who would have thought them coming in, just taking control, showing that kind of dominance of their strategy, their rotations, the communication that you see from Team Fangs, it's very evident. But look at Deoxys, he's gonna pop that running back and go for a very aggressive play. Not gonna find one or deal any kind of damage. Maverick with the owl drone just to scan for some information. Cliche waiting patiently, spots out the owl drone. And the bolt does tag him. He's gotta be careful. Here comes the shock darts. And Cliche waiting patiently. His armor's taken out. And Smokey is gonna clean him up. Smokey finds a double. Paradox goes down, but he did find a kill. And now Cactus. This is just Team Fangs picking up members of the Rat Syndicate one by one.
This is the problem of having your primary operator player playing that Smokey.
If
the enemy team is well coordinated, as soon as you put down that scope to try and put down the smoke, they know for a fact that, hey, the operator player is actually not even using his operator. We can go in for an aggressive peek of our own, and Smokey playing that beautifully, opposite going for that swing. As soon as that operator came out, what was that close range shot? Smoke, hey, on a Radmaster, he has gotta be feeling it. But going back to the point where I was trying to make, having the Omen opt to go in for that operator is such a massive hindrance to your team, because the Omen cannot opt to go in for the smokes and give up that operator angle at the same time. Because when you do that, you're telling your enemies openly that, hey, I'm using the operator and I am not going to be holding down this angle anymore because I'm placing down my smokes. This is just a go-go button for the side of Fangs to be like, hey, he's no longer holding down the side of mid. I can push in aggressively as much as I want. There is nothing to punish me if I'm able to hit my headshots, and say the very least, with my Phantoms or my Vandals. They played that around beautifully to take aggressive mid control on their own accord, push down from the side of B main as well, take side control itself, put them down. And now, Rat Syndicate, they're on the back foot. They're on another eco round on a 3-6 scoreline. They need to get as many rounds as possible on this defensive side, because if they're not able to, they're gonna have an even harder of a time on their own attacking.
Team Fangs, gotta watch out for Smoke A. He does it again with that operator to Deoxys. The last time around, don't get it twisted, Smoke A got an ace with the operator. That was crazy. Now Headshot's gonna find a double Maverick with a beautiful shock dart kill. Master does manage to get one. He gets tagged with the paranoia, but the headshot connects. Master But unfortunately, that isn't quite enough for the Rat Syndicate. Make that 7 for Team Fangs. And we've only got a couple more rounds left in the first half.
2 more rounds to go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more rounds to try and make it 7 and 5. Take us to that magic number and make sure that the side of Rat Syndicate's hopes are still alive. Because I do believe, considering how the defensive rounds have been going on through, Rat Syndicate themselves, using this certain composition, will have an even harder of a time when it comes to their own attacking side. Primarily because this one requires a lot of execution to work out with, but look at the positioning coming out from the side of Radmaster. He's trying to go in aggressive. He actually gets a dink on the head of Smokey as well. Smokey's gotta be feeling it, but he can live to tell the tale in another day, ladies and gentlemen. But already, with one member going on down for the side of the defenders, it's gonna be a massive dent to their confidence, especially the fact that without the raise, they don't have a part of their utility in their favor. And Relic's opting to go in for a couple of his own plays as he's moving on forward. The recons are gonna be coming on through with those Leers to try and find as much value as he possibly can. But with the Cyber Cages coming on through and Deoxys coming in for his own couple of shots to try and back up his teammates. But with that Killjoy lockdown coming on through for the side of Team Fangs, it's gonna be a full-time rush onto this Ace B side soon enough.
Cliche firing away. Relic's gonna pick up a kill. The Rat Syndicate, the 2 members down. Relic, he finds Wakoli with the Nano Swarm's gonna pick up a kill of his own, and now it's a 3v1 situation. Not a good spot for Cliche at all. Cody's just waiting, and he's gonna be taken out. Cliche and Smoking from the back in that market area with that operator. Man, Smoking was low health the entire time, and to see the coordination come out from Team Fangs to kind of keep him safe, they understand the importance of that operator. It was just beautiful how they played it. They took their time, and this is the thing, we saw rotations from Team Fangs, but we also see them assessing a situation and figuring out if they still can push forward. Now they were lingering in B main and outside of B main for the longest time, but they knew that slowly, one by one, with these takedowns, we had the Killjoy ultimate. We're going to utilize that to push in to the B side. I think that was really amazing on the side of attack. And now this is going to be the last round before the swap. Cody with a little bit of a setup. We can see that all of Team Fangs are absolutely on fire. This is going to be Paradox with a few of his buddies here looking to hold down the A side.
Now with the fast push coming on through from the back end, Paradox he needs to get that skill, and he's actually going to be able to find it straight from the Leer as well. Good understanding of the Jet dash line to try and get it all off, but look at Radmaster, he's mowing them down as he needs a lot more with that Spectre in hand, but Maverick's going to be shutting down that Rampage. Gets tagged down to the magic number 69 HP, but at the same time, you do have to remember that these two members, they know exactly where their positions are gonna be at. So who's gonna be able to come out on top? It's gonna be Cliche being able to get that burst onto Coley, taking him out, but now Maverick, he has enough to work with, a lot of information on his own accord, because he knows for a fact that one of the members is going to be down onto the side of Guarded. But with the footsteps given on through for the side of Relic, he knows exactly where he's going to be going at, but Relic is not checking the side of mid itself. So this is going to be detriment, because I do believe that Relic, he did not hear his footsteps, so he was not holding down for the rotation down onto the B side, basically meaning that Maverick, he can get a free plant off no matter where he goes at this point. The cages are going to be coming on through as well. Preemptive cage though, because he could have used it to mask his own entry as he was pushing down from the side of B main. Small mistakes being made from both of these sides. But Maverick, he played it beautifully. And now will he be able to come out on top? But I do believe that Relic, he actually spotted out his head. And with the Peeker's advantage in the favor of Relics, the angle not favoring him whatsoever. That's going to be 4 and 8 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. And Rat Syndicate not getting the magic number of 5 and 7, but they still got the 4 and 8 for their side.
Indeed, the Rat Syndicate magic number 4, but here it is, you see on the instant replay, Paradox there being very sneaky, Smokey trying to go in for a quick attack, but Edge shot finding 2 before he goes down, and it was a very tough situation. Relic played it beautifully to clutch that out for the Rat Syndicate, and now we're going to move into the second half where Team Fangs will be holding down the fort, and the Rat Syndicate, it is time for them to put those plans into action. for that IGL to make those calls. I do believe it is Paradox, and to make something happen. Now, the Rat Syndicate, they need a comeback. So, you know, this pistol round will be a great start for them if they can secure it.
Now, once again, I'm gonna be giving the benefit of the doubt towards the side of Rat Syndicate that, hey, they as a team are gonna be able to pull off this full utility-based composition because they need to make sure they communicate very well how they're going to be opting to use a lot of their utility and how they're going to be able to enter down into a lot of these sides. But looking at the positioning of Cactus, he's in such a dangerous spot. He actually gets the first initial kill. He's looking for one more down on the Paradoxes, but he's not going to be able to find it just yet. It is going to be Cactus being able to find one more Paradoxes chiming in with his own kill. And now with the push coming on through from the back end, who's going to be able to come out on top in this engagement? It's going to be Cactus getting it scaled down onto his twin brother. And now onto the backup side, a lot of the members are going to be holding down from inside of their B main. Has been cleared though. So it is 4 versus 3 on the map, ladies and gentlemen. The recon bolt is going to be coming on through from the side of Maverick, pushing himself down. All the members have been revealed. The wall banks are going to be coming on through, but Maverick, he does make first contact. The shotguns are going to be raining on in, but the shotgun does not hit properly, but it's going to be Smoke A with the push in from the side of Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, the shotguns are raining on in from the side. This is going to be Maverick and Headshot Machine leaving it all up for their teammates while Smoke A holds down the spike. It's going to be 4 and 9 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, and a very beautiful defensive retake from the side of Team Fangs.
Team Fangs securing this pistol round. They close down on the Rat Syndicate, and this is the problem with the B site on Ascent. When all attackers in their post-plant positions are just limited to being on that B site and the back boathouse, it makes it really easy for the defensive side to go for the retake because they can ultimately just corner all the attackers, peek them, and catch them in a crossfire. So the Rat Syndicate, a bit of an unfortunate situation there for them. And we do see the lead being pushed over for Spectres of Single Frenzy on the side of Team Fangs. Now Cliche. Looking for the opportunity and shot, ready to take down one. That's gonna be double for Cactus. And Relic's gonna fall to Maverick. Now the last man standing will be Cliche. Smoke A is running. He's looking for him. And this might just be a flawless round unless Cliche takes out one. Drop down to 66 HP. And that is a flawless round for Team Fangs. Understandable as it was an eco for the Rat Syndicate. However, double digits for the defense. And that is a 6-round lead.
A lot of the comeback potential for the side of Rat Syndicate relied upon them winning that first pistol round, but now they have lost out on and in the following consecutive round because of course they went in for that eco. This is gonna get really hard because whenever you give those double-digit points away towards the side of your opponents, it becomes way harder for you as a team to stop that snowball. Because you have to remember that if Maverick now are able to win out on this particular round, you are not gonna have a buy to try and fight for yourselves on that 11th round. It's either you go in for that save and fight for that overtime, or you go in for the force buys and hope that you're able to win it out because you do not want to try and fight for match point. But look at Smoke A, he pulled out that operator and sent a shot straight through the body of Deoxys, being able to find one, but Relics is going to be able to shut down one of his own, taking down Cactus. Relic with another one onto Coolio. He's going to be the deciding factor for the side of Rat Syndicate, ladies and gentlemen. 2 picks for his side, and it's already going to be a plan going down onto the side of B itself. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a retake scenario for the side of Team Fangs down onto this B side.
Revealing area.
Now as the spike is ticking, here comes Team Fangs for the retake, but they are a man down as compared to the Rat Syndicate. Now Relic and Cliche holding it down, holding their angles, and Shot's gonna find a kill onto Paradox. And now it's an even thing for both sides. Monster finds a double, and Smoke A is the last man standing. Not exactly a great position for him to be in. That recon bolt is gonna spot him out. What would be advisable is to go for the save. Smoke A spots out Master, but he dashes away to safety. Now he's gotta be careful. He might just be caught by the tail, and he does. Relic ends off the round with a 3K. Smoke A a little bit too slow there, but that is going to be the 5th point for the Rat Syndicate.
I think he should have seen his namesake for a second and then just smoked A. Because he was on A Cat, he should have just smoked it as he was pushing himself through the side of Cat itself. It was a little bit of a question mark for me because I was watching the minimap and I was like literally at the edge of my seats. I was like, oh no, he's gonna die, isn't he? He is gonna die. And that operator is such a massive investment, and now going towards the side of the attackers as well. This is gonna be a really simple round for the side of Rat Syndicate if they're able to execute properly, because now that they have this operator, it's gonna be such a detrimental factor, and already, just as I said it, it is gonna be Paradoxes being able to find one, but no one's checking down on this left-hand side. But Grandmaster, he knows for a fact, he knew that the Esports was not checking that corner, so he's gonna be opting to go for it. Paradoxes, he does find one. Deoxys, he does find another. Coley, he could be the one to get a couple of more on his own accord to try and do as much damage to the economy of the side of the attackers as possible to make the following round a little bit more comfortable for them as they move on to another eco. But at the same time, this could be a tall order for the side of Coley, or he could just pull off a 1 versus 4 Oppo. Anything is possible when it comes to this man.
I mean, Coley, he has proved himself to be one of the strongest members here on the side of Team Fangs. Very versatile as well. Not only can he play as a sentinel, he can play as a duelist too. So that raw aim, that firepower here, Coley, let's see if he's going to be able to pick up this one. Not quite master with that operator holding the angle down. Will clean that up, and it seems like the Rat Syndicate has gotten a little bit of a feel for what it is they have to do on the side of attack to kind of catch Team Fangs by surprise. But here comes the force buys on the side of Team Fangs. 3 Buckies, 1 Frenzy, and a Sheriff. So this is a little interesting. We haven't quite seen it, but hey, it's Team Fangs. If they could change up their entire composition, why can't they just pick guns that aren't exactly popular?
Oh my god, if this works out, this is gonna be massive for them. If they all push down onto the side of B main itself, it could be all but over for them, because with so many Buckies holding down that angle, it is gonna be a massive dent towards the side of Rat Syndicate. But they're smart, and by a sheer chance of luck, I do believe they're all opting to go towards that A side, because they of course heard the first initial shot coming out from the side of Smoke A because of that Bucky, and you never want to contest a Bucky, especially at such a high tier of play, because those Buckies can just completely shut you down if you are not careful of how you enter a lot of these sight lines. And already Fangs, they put a massive gamble buying a lot of these Buckies, trying to hold down this B side. They were trying to make a play right there, but still they were not able to find much. And Relics, he's gonna be on the back end. The Buckies are gonna be coming on through, especially with one of the couple of his own plays. But look at Paradoxes! He does get the 1, he does get the 2nd, he's looking for his 3rd, not gonna be able to find it, he needs to run away. The Bucky's right after it. Long range Bucky power, baby, it seems. Frenzy getting pulled down to Paradoxes. He gets like no dams. He pulls out his operator, being like, you have a Bucky, I have an operator, I'm gonna be shooting a bullet straight through your body, taking you out. Deoxys does get 1. Shared taps are gonna be coming on in, but reloads from the both sides. Who's gonna be able to come out on top of this engagement? Flash as well. Operator in the back. Maverick, he is pincered from every single angle. He has nowhere to run. Bastard, he has his phone number, calls him up and takes him back home. That's gonna be 7 and 10 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. And a really good round from the side of Rat Syndicate, but at the same time, it was a little bit comical, you have to say, Oppo.
To Rat Syndicate, Paradox here, so good with the operator, and it's not very conventional, you know, being on that Omen, picking up that op, but you know, hey, Paradox, he knows how to do it, he does it well. So moving on into the next round, now we see the full buys of both sides. Seems like Smoke A will be taking that Frenzy. He does want to save up for that operator, because, you know, playing on the defensive side, that's the perfect time. He just got to save up for that cash. Now, Team Fangs, they need this round desperately to save their economy, but all ultimates are very much available for the side of the Rat Syndicate, and they can just pull off something insane. The first to pop off is going to be Deoxys. He pops that run it back, moving forward, and he's trying to get a little bit of damage down, but no, the running back is going to keep him safe. Cliche is on site, so is Basser and Relic. And the spike should be planted anytime soon. Team Fangs is scrambling around looking for the rotation, and they should be ready to go for this retake.
Now, coming down from the side of the main itself are a couple of members of their own. But with this recon mode now spotting out the position. Oh, Masters! He could be the one to bite the bullet, but instead it's gonna be Cactus as the swing does come on through. Looking at the positioning from their side, Masters, he actually gets a rocket off at the very last second as the headshot was going to go through from the side of Maverick. And with his last dying breath, he was able to find 2 kills of his own. Yops is also going for the push, but headshot machine from the back end, he's going to be able to take down one more. Relics on the sideline, chance in with his own kill. It's already 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, make it a 1 versus 1. It's gonna be Sentinel versus Sentinel, ladies and gentlemen, but with that recon bolt straight on his head because of the camera being placed by Relic. Such a beautiful play from that Sentinel player, ladies and gentlemen. 8 and 10 on the scoreboard. It was a 3 versus 2, took it down to a 1 versus 1 in a matter of a couple of seconds. Such a beautiful retake from the side of Team Fangs, but the utility usage coming out from Relics and his camera placement was the only thing that got them on the top side for this matchup.
Thank you.
Indeed, a great round. The Rat Syndicate inching their way back up. They ended off the first half with only 4 points, and Team Fangs with 8. And now to be able to climb up, they're slowly closing the gap. Team Fangs, they have to put their foot down, and it seems like Smokey is still unable to invest in that operator. A bit shaky with the buys there, a bunch of light armors on the side of Team Fangs. Now Master, he's gonna push in onto mid-bottom together with a bunch of his teammates. The Rat Syndicate using all those ultimates the previous round was absolutely nuts. Gaining them all of this power right now. The momentum is high with the attackers. Maverick waiting patiently on A short, and the Rat Syndicate pushing through. And Maverick does get spotted out with the recon bolt. Here is the Sheriff. The Oxes, they're firing away. He's gonna pick up Smoke A. 1 man down. The Rat Syndicate, they're looking to get this plot off. Relic secures it. Cliche and Paradox both find a kill. There's only 2 members left on the side of Team Fangs.
Now with the push coming on down from the back end, it's going to be Colin being able to upgrade himself down to this Phantom at the bare minimum. But look at the push coming down from the side of Heaven itself. The glass has been broken, but the Ox is not being able to find that kill. Colin, this guy is just on fire. Headshot after headshot. This Sentinel player is the actual beast, ladies and gentlemen. Now 3 versus 2 on the map though. Colin, he just has 14 HP to work with. A gun advantage not really there for the side of the defenders, and so the health advantage as well. And they're opting to go for as many exit frags as they possibly can. The headshot on the Masters was going to be clean, and Cactus, he's going to be able to run away on his own accord. He did the job that he needed to do. He got a gun for himself, and so did the side of Colin. So they're going to be really happy because this round was super successful for their side at the bare minimum. And also Smoke A, he's actually going to be able to buy up an operator for himself as well. So now it's going to be 9 and 10 on the scoreboard. And I do believe that this is going to be the final buy round for their side before they have to be forced onto another eco. Actually, no, they are not going to be forced onto another eco because 2 of their members can still opt to go in for full buys and get their teammates guns as well. So smart play from both sides to come out on top in this engagement. And from the side of Rat Syndicate, that last round was beautiful on their own accord as well.
Indeed, both these teams, they're at each other's necks. Right now, they're in the lower bracket of the semifinals. They can't afford to lose this at all. They don't have a second chance, and they want to make it through to the next round. Now, map number 1, this does set the pace for their mental, especially if they can secure it. Edshot here pushing up with Smoke A. A very aggressive stance, and now Smoke firing away. He does not quite get the kill. That recon bolt gonna tag Edshot. Cactus waiting, and he's gonna spawn off one, make that 2, not quite. The Oxus is just extremely low. 2 members with a tick of health on the side of the Rat Syndicate, and they are looking to push for that B side after gaining all of that mid control. Team Fangs, they're coming in with the rotations.
But honestly speaking, Cliche, he needs to be very careful. He only has how much HP? He only has 10 HP to work with. That shot was devastating for their side. Now look at the positioning from Khalil. But Relic and Khalil, these 2 Sentinel players are just tearing through the sides of their opposition. One by one, shot after shot. But look at Paradoxes. He's in the prime position to get a couple of shots of his own. But Khalil, he's trying to be the smoke criminal. He spots out the multiple footsteps. And Paradoxes is watching his teammates back as he jumps in straight into the side of Market. Good plays from both of the teams, but at the same time you have to give it to the side of Rats and they need to come out on top in this engagement. Maverick not really opting to use that Hunter's Fury to try and deny the plan, to try and get a couple of his own shots, opting to play it for the retake instead, because Smokey, he does have a lot of his own smokes available, so the push could be a little bit more easier on his own side. Shoutouts are going to be raining on in, and but from the top end it is going to be the recon bolt. Paradoxes has his phone number, calls him up, calls up Maverick as well, sends them back home, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be 10 and 10 on the scoreboard. scoreboard. And I do believe that this is going to be the final buy round for the side of the defenders as well. Because if they're not able to win out on this round, it's going to be 11 on the board for the side of Rad Syndicate. And a massive comeback for their side as well. It was a 4-8. And they were able to win out on so many of these consecutive rounds to take us to a 10-10 on the scoreboard.
We might just see overtime here. Paradox has lost his mind now with 18 kills at the top of the board, followed by Relic and Master with 16. And on the other side, Team Fangs, Edshot, a great sub for the team. 19 kills there. Cactus and Coley trailing behind with 18. So both sides very much even. But right now in this circumstance, we can see the Rad Syndicate just flourishing with all that money in the bank. Headshot here with the Bucky. Just waiting for that right time. Smoke game. The Sheriff. We have seen some pretty insane one-taps throughout the entirety of this tournament that has granted quite a few teams a thrifty. Now Headshot here with the Leer. He is going to spot out one. Waiting for the right time, and the shock dart takes out his armor as well as half of his health. Cactus, meanwhile, finds a kill onto Master, and this puts Team Fangs in a great spot. Now it's up to them to hold on to it. They don't have the best buys, but this one advantage could mean everything. Paradox takes out Smoke A little too aggressive there, and here comes Paradox with the ultimate. Moving into Boathouse, he's gonna clear the area. Coley
30 seconds left.
Gets taken out by Deoxys, so that was a great ultimate for the side of the Rat Syndicate. 3 members left. Headshot. He falls to Relic. Cliche. And that is Maverick picking up a kill onto Relic. A bit of a return there. Cactus. The dark cover disappears and Cactus just waiting. And all 3 members of the Rat Syndicate are stationed on that B site.
Now, this is where the equalization will start off for the side of Rat Syndicate. For the first time, if they're able to win this one out, they're going to be the ones to be on the top board. And a beautiful recon bolt has been coming on through from the back end of Cliche as well. That's one on the side of Cactus, but Paradox says he's not going to be letting his twin brother get away with anything. With a spike timer kicking on down, Maverick, he does find 1, he does find 2, probably going to be finding his third as well before he does go down. But Maverick, 4 kills is good, but at the same time, you're losing out on a lot of consecutive rounds, my man. 11-10 on the scoreboard, and already, as I just stated, Rat Syndicate, they're in the lead finally for the first time in this map. They're going to be holding down strong, and as the pause is going to be coming on through, I'm going to throw you this question, Oppo. What do you think that the side of Maverick is doing wrong? Because I do believe that the side of Team Fangs is doing wrong. That I do believe that they are playing a little bit too defensively, allowing the side of Rat Syndicate to take controls of the pockets of control over the entire map, taking mid control, giving away A main control itself. They're playing a little bit too defensively, and it's Rat Syndicate calling the shots of how they want to execute down into a site, and that is where I do believe that this strategy that they do have when it comes to utility thrives fully.
I think what it looks like is that as compared to the first half, Team Fangs, they were very well coordinated. We saw them move together as a unit, and when there was a lot of action happening, they were very quick to just close off the Rat Syndicate. But here on the side of defense, it's almost like the communication is not exactly very present. We see them getting caught off guard where they shouldn't be. They should know exactly that that opponent was standing right there. So, it also could be a case where teams are just a little bit more comfortable on a particular side, but the defensive side, the rotations might come in too quick as well. In times when defenders do try to anticipate. And we have seen a couple of instances where Smoke A gets a little too aggressive as well. So, he gets taken out. Sometimes Headshot's really aggressive. And, the moment you lose that one man, it gives your opponents confidence to kind of just go through with their strategy, to just go in for that attack onto a site at a very quick pace. And you don't have the tools to stop them in their tracks.
Completely agree with you on that. And this type of communication breakdown is going to be a massive problem for their side, because you do have to remember, looking at the scoreboard, Oppo, all the members of the side of Team Fangs, they are beautiful when it comes to their own KDAs. All of the members are contributing heavily. Deoxys is not having a good day, but at the same time, all of the members from the side of Rat Syndicate, they are communicating, they are setting up their crossfires, and they are playing systematically together as a team. But when it comes down to the side of Fangs, it's not exactly there as you would have expected. Yes, they are getting the kills. They are able to get a lot of the rounds out of their hats as well, but it's a lot based on individuals showing instead of team play and coordination, and that is gonna be hurting quite a lot for their side if they're not able to come together, take a deep breath, and understand that, hey, we need to be playing much more together as a team. And we need to be setting up our crossfires even better, because now on this defensive side, they're down so many rounds, and this is their final buy round. After this, they're not going to be able to go in. They're not going to be able to go in for full buys moving on forward. And I do believe that Smokey, he actually didn't opt to buy out his armor, so he's playing a glass cannon operator, so he needs to be careful while he plays this. Maybe dying to that boom bot, but gotta be able to survive as he pulls out that frenzy in his hand. But already, ladies and gentlemen, so much information being given away for the side of Rat Syndicate as they make their way down onto this B side.
The Rat Syndicate, they're coming in with the push. Deoxys, and very well placed dark covers there just to block off the market and defend the side spawn entrances. And here comes Coley. He's gonna put that lockdown. And we do see two members. There is a pocket of space where they can stay safe there in the boathouse, but that kind of just corners them there. And here it is. One detained, and they are gonna get choked up right there. But Paradox and Cliche, they pick up one. Master finds a kill, and so does Paradox. They held it down in the boathouse. What?
Cheers. Match
Team Fangs, and this is what we're talking about. The coordination from the Rat Syndicate right now is just a lot better than the side of Team Fangs. That's going to be match point secured by the Rat Syndicate. What a ton of events. What a comeback from the side of the Rat Syndicate.
Once again, it all comes down to those trades, ladies and gentlemen. Every single time we always talk about the teams facing off against one another, we always focus on the crossfire setups. This is why you can see that Master and Deoxys, even though they're having a rough time on their own accord in this entire matchup, they never mess up when it comes to their crossfires. If there is an easy shot in front of them, they are gonna be able to hit it no matter what happens. And from the side of Fangs, they have incredible skill when it comes to their raw mechanical skill, but they're showing it as an individual instead of together as a team, and that is not going to be helping them whatsoever. And in this round, it's now their do or die. Relics, he does take his hat off to say good day to Maverick. He does get taken out, but he does reveal the positions of all of the other members before he does go down on his own accord. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all that the side of Master needs. His spidey senses were tingling. He does fight on water to Khalil, but he needs to be careful. He may be biting off a bit more than he can chew. I'm not gonna be saying that. He's biting off as much as he can. He's hungry for more. He gets a triple kill. Deoxys chimes in with the white swing of his own, taking down Cactus. That is gonna be a massive comeback coming out from the side of Rat Syndicate, ladies and gentlemen. 13 and 10 on the scoreboard. Rat Syndicate, they played out of their minds when it came to the second half.
And this is where experience comes in. The Rat Syndicate, they held it down, coming in to map number 1 with not the best start, but being able to flip the script. 13 is to 10. Wow, the Rat Syndicate is gonna secure map number 1. And we do see Paradox here, 282 combat score, 22 kills. Master isn't far behind at all. But, you know, you do see on the scoreboard, a lot of it is spread out. You see Team Fangs, they're a bit more close in terms of what they're doing. But Paradox and Master, they definitely showed out. And we can definitely see that Cliche and Deoxys, they were definitely more on the supportive end. Let's move into the WD Black match highlights and talk a little bit more about what went down in map number 1 here in the lower bracket of the semifinals between Team Fangs and the Rat Syndicate. So Team Fangs here, they had a great start. They ended off the first half 8-4, but they kind of lost out when it was time for them to defend. And the Rat Syndicate pulled out really good strategy and moments on the side of attack with insane pickoffs. the Rat Syndicate, it's almost like they waited to be on the attacking side because they knew that that was their strong point. They took it, they ran with it, they came from 4 all the way up to 10. It was 10 and 10 even, and then to 13 is to 10. So to be able to, come back from nothing, I think that was really great from the side of the Rat Syndicate. What are your afterthoughts here, Aggressive?
Primarily do think that the side of Fangs, as I just stated, they gave up way too much control when it came to their own defensive half, because Rat Syndicate as a team, they are really potent and they're really powerful only when you give them the chance to sit down, think, being like, hey guys, we can actually push here, we can take control over here, and as soon as they have that control, they know for a fact that they need to retaliate. Valorant is a game where you try and make your opponents waste resources on you on one side of the map as you push down other sides of either pockets of control of your own accord. This is so important because every single time when we saw the side of Rat Syndicate win out, it was Relic on that cypher constantly being on that alert, causing so much noise down on the other sideline that some of the members, they have to retaliate. Some of the members, they do have to come towards him to respect the fact that, hey, Rat Syndicate, they maybe are going for a push down on this A side, maybe they are not, but we do need to try and do something about it, otherwise we're giving away map control. And this is where aggressive map control comes into play. If the side of the defenders, they're playing it defensively, waiting for the side push to come on in, it's not really going to be working out. In some rounds, yes, you may be able to win out purely relying on your gunfight capabilities, but that's not always going to work. You sometimes need to be unpredictable. And here is where, as you just stated before, the experience of Rat Syndicate coming into play. They have been playing together as a team and they understand what they need to do to try and come out on top in a lot of these engagements here. And you can already see on this 13 and 10 scoreline, they played it beautifully. And hopefully Fangs, they understand this and try and take a little bit of a more of a proactive approach against the side of Rat Syndicate to come back even stronger on map number 2.
All right. So that brings us to the end of map number 1. Congratulations once again to the Rat Syndicate for securing it. And we are going to take a little break to prepare for map number 2. Remember, guys, if you are enjoying all the action, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. Remember, you can grab the best deals on WD Black products at our e-commerce partners, multitask and game with ease with AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors. Links are in the description. Click it, have a look, something might catch your eye. So without further ado, we're going to prepare for map number 2, grab a snack, and we'll be back with you guys very shortly with the games between the Rat Syndicate and Team Fangs. Hey guys, and welcome back to the WD Black Cup powered by AMD Ryzen. We're ready with map number 2 in this lower bracket of the semifinals between the Rad Syndicate and Team Fangs. So let's head over to the map veto screen and look at which map will be up next. So for map number 1, we did have Ascent, and the Rad Syndicate secured that map for themselves 13 is to 10. Now moving on to Haven. This is going to be really interesting because both these teams have had an amazing performance on Haven, and it's really up to which team is just a little bit more consistent. How do you feel about this matchup on this particular map here, Aggressive?
Personally, in my eyes, like I was talking about this before as well, when we were talking to each other, that I do believe that this is going to be one particular map where Rat Syndicate themselves are going to be really powerful and really potent, because if this breach pick is going to be coming on through as I'm expecting, it is going to be a massive dent towards the side of Fangs, because Fangs as a team, they love to play it very defensively. We have not really seen a lot of aggressive play coming out from them, basically meaning that they need to be a little bit more careful of how they approach a lot of these scenarios. But at the same time, I do believe that they're going to be opting to go in for those standard picks, not really going to be going in for that Astra because Astra is not allowed. I do believe that Radmaster, he's going to be opting to go in for that race themselves. So I do believe both of the sides are going to be playing the exact same composition, a mirror matchup nonetheless. But at the same time, I'm very vocal about my feelings of this race pickup on this particular map, because if you have that breach on your side, yes, the race can work out on the map of Haven, but if you don't have a flash agent on your composition, it's all about the gunfights, less about the utility and less about the strategy. So I'm really looking to see how both of these teams are going to be playing when it comes to the mechanical terms instead of the macro terms in my eyes.
Indeed, when it comes to Haven, the Breach or the Phoenix, you see one of the two very much available. Sometimes for some particular teams, it might not be them, it might be Reyna. But what they all have in common is their vision impairment, ability to curveball, the flashes, and all of that. So, you did make a very good point there. Both teams are running the exact same composition, and this is what is really cool about Team Fangs. Previously, we saw Coley; he was on that Killjoy, and now he's gonna be on that race. Smoke A from that jet onto the Sova, and Edge Shot seems to be taken out. He was a sub, and B2 is here to pick up that cipher on the side of the Rad Syndicate. I'm really excited to see a Cliche. He is going to be subbed out, and now Anais will step in as that Omen player. And Anais has been around for quite a while. We've seen him on the Sentinel, on the Controller, a very decent player indeed. But Paradox on that signature jet and Master on that Raze, this is going to be a really fun game to watch. Now it's going to be the pistol round. Team Fangs beginning on the side of defense and the Rad Syndicate on the side of attack.
Whenever I see Anais, I get really excited, primarily because this guy is just a menace when he plays his cards, right? The Paradoxes. He actually exchanged out his knife to get this iron knife in his hand, so I do believe that he's feeling himself, because now it's time for his favorite map. I do believe the pushes are going to be coming on through from the back end, and with a beautiful dash of his own accord, but that Paranoia so clean from the side of the Omen being able to find one, but Anais chimes in with a couple of his own kills. He does get one, but the trades are going to be coming out immediately. Maverick not going to be able to find more than one of his own accords. Gets one onto his twin brother, but with the spy going on down through, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Smokey on the back end, being able to get that kill down onto Relics as he opts to go in for that lurk with Paradoxes. He's feeling himself. Paradoxes with a triple kill. What is this guy on? What is this guy doing? And already it's 1 versus 3 on the map, ladies and gentlemen. And with Smoke A trying to go in for this clutch, this could be all but over for him, because look at Paradoxes. He has his phone number, but he cannot get the proper call. Life is busy, he says, and he puts a bullet straight into his body to take him out. And Smokey, he is in a pretty tough spot. One on the side of Long, one on the side of Garage. Could be a little bit too much for him.
And Deox is there. He was in Garage. He's gonna take out Smoke A. The Rad Syndicate securing the first point here in the pistol round. A great start for them, but Team Fangs, they desperately need map number 2 if they want to stay in the running, and no more second chances, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the lower bracket of the semi-finals. Now, we do see the Spectres being bought by the Rad Syndicate, and it will be an eco for Team Fangs. So we do see them crowded around very close to A site in the garden. Deoxys looking for their lineup. And we hear shots being fired. Deoxys. Smokade's gonna pick up first blood onto Paradox, and this is really good for the side of Team Fangs, but they gotta hold on to this small relic there. We'll find one onto Cactus. 4v4, and the spike plant will be secured by Relic.
Spike planted.
That was such a delayed recon ball. That is really smart as well. You have to give it to Deoxys to set up that recon in such a beautiful fashion on his own accord. Because you do have to remember that the more you delay that recon ball, the more your opponents are going to be ready to try and dodge it out and try and kill it. But look at these shocknuts from Deoxys. These bounces are just playing mind games with the entirety of the side of the defenders. Maybe they're going to be rushing out in onto the back. Maybe they're going to be pushing on forward, but Deoxys' headshots are going to be radiant supreme. Relic chimes in with a couple of his own kills on Depolio. That's going to be 0-2 on the scoreboard. And the beast has been awakened, Oppo. Because I told you this previously, Rat Syndicate on this map, they're going to be real comfortable. But now that Deoxys is on this sofa, I think that another beast has been awakened entirely.
Indeed, Deoxys off to a great start. 4 kills secured there by him. Paradox right behind with 3, who just pulled off an amazing performance in round number 1. But here comes the full buys. We do see 1 Phantom, 1 Vandal ready for the Rat Syndicate. But hey, we see a whole load more for the side of Team Fangs. And, you know, the key to it is not to be too aggressive. You've got to be a little bit more defensive. Try to figure out what is the idea that your opponents are thinking of. And that was a great recon bolt. Coley's going to find the kill, and so does B2. 4v3 situation. Anais moving through. Deoxys now with the owl drone just to get a little bit of info. He might spot out Master here. And my apologies, not Master. That is going to be Coley. And Deoxys waiting very patiently. The spike is on Relic, and he's just waiting for that right time. The B site is what they seem to be gunning for, but they might just want to have 1 or 2 more takedowns solely for the fact that they are outnumbered. Spike carrier has been taken down. That's Relic falling. B2 keeping his fort safe. Anais looking for the plant. And Deoxys looking for that opportunity to meet up with his teammate, but Smokade's gonna take out Anais. Deoxys, last man standing, and he might just be caught from 2 different angles, takes out 1, and it's a 1v3 situation. It's not entirely impossible because 2 members on the side of Team Fangs are extremely low. Here comes the retake from the side of Team Fangs.
Positions are known, but at the same time, look at the positioning from the side of Kobe. He's actually opting to go in for a push from the side of short, and with this pincer coming on through from the back end, Deoxys, he cannot miss a single shot. If he misses one singular shot, it could be all but over, but the shots are really on him, and the spray transfer is gonna be supreme! Deoxys, the clutch, you can feel it! He's shaking his mouth like crazy! 0-3 on the scoreboard. Deoxys with that flick and transfer, that's all that he needs. You stated before that 2 of the members were extremely low. He knew for a fact he had the confidence to go in for it. First visual headshot onto him and body shots onto the side of B2. And 1 more to take Colleen's body clean off the map. 0-3 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. And a beautiful showing of skill from all the members of the side of Rat Syndicate.
Indeed, and that is why communication is so important. Deoxys knew exactly what the odds were, and Anais with very quick headshot there, picking up a kill onto Maverick, and we're going to continue to love those. Master, exactly. Gotta find one. Relic gets another. Paradox chiming in, and B2 is the last man standing. It is an equal round for the side of Team Fangs. The Rat Syndicate, a very explosive start. In fact, it is a team ace. The momentum is definitely riding high for the side of attack, and a very different beginning as compared to map number 1.
Yeah, because he's just having fun with his recon balls. It's not really getting a lot of pings, but at the same time, when it does get information, it is good. But you kind of scare your opponents whenever you put up recon balls like this. Even at the highest tiers of play, whenever you see these type of recons, you're like, God damn, that Sova player is actually kind of dangerous if he knows these type of lineups. We gotta be watching out for it. Deoxys, he's just proving how dangerous he can be. Getting a clutch, and now going in for that type of a wide swing straight through a smoke. He's feeling himself, ladies and gentlemen, and when a player of his caliber is feeling himself, he's gonna be a driving force for his entire team. And looking at the scoreboard, he already has 9-0 on this Sova. He's the real MVP from their side. But now, with the second buy round coming on down and also the operator for the side of Cactus. I'm really looking to see how they approach this matchup, but Masters not being able to get that kill down on the Coolhill basically means that now the first initial entry is all but over, but Deoxys is still alive and taking, maybe trying to be able to find one more, but that Boombot's gonna be able to spot him out and take him down to only 37 HP. He tried to be sneaky peeky like, but not really working out in his favor. Already 0-4 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, but now with the one-man advantage towards the side of the defenders, the attackers are now moving their way down onto this A side.
Nice, just holding down this angle, and here comes the Deoxys ready to secure the plant. Here is the Hunter's Fury from Smoke A, ready to try and get a kill, but Anais pushes, and that pop shot grazes him. 8 HP left to work with. Now Cactus with the operator. I do remember he is pretty slick on that particular weapon. Now as the spike is ticking, it's a 3v4 situation. The Rat Syndicate, they've got the upper hand until B2 steps forward and takes out Anais. Now down to the 3v3. Relic taking position in a short. Deoxys waiting for the right time to dish out those shock darts, and here comes the Hunter's Fury from the side of Deoxys.
Oh my god!
And he's gonna pick up Cactus, the spray from Relic, and a beautiful post-plant scenario set up by the Rat Syndicate. 5 points on the board for the side of Cat.
That was incredible from Deoxys. He didn't pull out the Hunter's Fury initially. He first threw a shock dart, pulled out the Hunter's Fury, and he made sure he got the kill. Normally what happens, you use that Hunter's Fury to try and deny the spike plant. So you're trying to like spike defuse, sorry, in this scenario, so that your teammates have enough time to go in for a swing of their own and then finish him off as you do the damage. But Deoxys is like, no, this is gonna be my kill. Throws a shock dart and then pulls out the Hunter's Fury, and as soon as the first tick of health is gone, the shock dart rains in from the heavens and takes down one of the members. Such a beautiful play from the Sova, and I'm just in awe, ladies and gentlemen. Watching Sovas duke it out like this, knowing the lineups and using their massive brains to get these type of 900 IQ plays is always a treat to watch. And now on the 0-5 scoreline, they do need to be careful though, because Fangs, they are gonna be the ones on the back foot, and with their backs against the wall, we know what they can do, and already Cactus is showcasing that. Getting the first initial kickoff down onto Relics, taking down the Sentinel is gonna be super important, because now with the flanks all opened up for the side of the attackers, it is now the defenders on the top foot.
Not dropping a single round. That's going to be the Rat Syndicate. And here comes Coley with the Showstopper picking up a kill onto Master. Dodges that paranoia dished in. And Coley waiting for the right time. Here comes his teammates to back him up. Deoxys with 21 HP. He's got to back down. Paradox comes in from Garage and Coley takes him out.
30 seconds
Anais coming in with the push. Secures the kill onto Coley. It's a 3v2 situation. The Rat Syndicate still not coming up. Then Recon Bolt gonna give so much information. Smoke A and B2 to clean it up. That's gonna be Team Fangs securing the first round here in the beginning of this map number 2. Team Fangs, this is exactly what they need to do. The Rat Syndicate didn't go for huge rotations here. They did lose quite a number of lives early in the round, and it seems to have put a dent in their plan. So, if Team Fangs can try to just, take out 1 or 2 from the side of the Rat Syndicate, they should have everything in the bag, but patience is key. And I think Coley displayed that there very nicely.
With an aggressive beat coming up from the side of Cactus, but Paradoxes, he knew exactly what was up. He throws out the smoke one way, beautifully done. Now being able to tag down the operator player to only 30 HP, 1 bullet to anywhere on his body, and he is gonna be the one to bite the first initial dust. And already with 2 members going on down for the side of the defenders, the spike is gonna be going down onto the B side, and Cactus, he does need to be careful with the push coming down onto the side of the garage angle, but it's gonna be an Eyes being able to get the first initial pick off. The flicks are gonna be coming on in, but Cactus not being able to find that shot. It's gonna be B2 being able to get the first initial kill down on the Paradox to start off this retake scenario. 2 versus 4 though, you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, and Radmasters, he's in the perfect prime position to take down B2. He gets a little bit too over aggressive. Relics chimes in from the back end as he goes in for a wraparound play from the back side of A itself. Anais getting the lurk kill down on the Cactus. map control being made supreme, ladies and gentlemen. 1-6 on the scoreboard, and you have to give it to the side of Rad Syndicate. They're able to take so much control over the entire map. At this point, I do believe that it is Rad Syndicate defending, because the way they're able to take control, they're just inside of the sites where the defender should be at instead.
Indeed, the Rat Syndicate, they look so comfortable, the communication's going through, they know exactly where to search for the remaining members of the side, on the side of Team Fangs. And I think that's what's really cool. We do see Team Fangs, their members are usually very spread out, they're not close to one another, might just need to pull in a little bit more coordination. Now that's gonna be Cactus with the operator holding down that angle at A short. Paradox making his way into garage, spots one out, and he gets tagged 55 HP, and he's gonna go for B2, but it's not gonna happen. B2 takes him out with that Vandal, and Anais now the next one to push garage, and that spy camp is gonna spot him out. Deoxys securing the plant, and the Rat Syndicate 2-man down. Team Fangs, they should have the upper hand here. Let's see how they're gonna approach this retake, preferably from many different angles. This is gonna be Smoke A, coming in from the back. He might just beat up with Deoxys here.
Deoxys, he has his crosshair perfectly trained on the head, and he will be able to find it, but Smoke A, he played the mind game. He was not even going for the Jekyll's ups and downs, and that's all that he needed. But look at the positioning from Anais. He uses his ultimate properly to go in for a reposition, but with no grenade in his hand, Radmasters cannot hold down that defensive angle with all the smokes coming in down from the side of the defenders. Very beautifully played, and also good play from the side of B2 to push himself up onto the stage itself to make sure he got the best angle onto the side of Radmaster if he opted to go in for a push of his own accord, get a really clean headshot on his own sidelines. But you have to give it to Smoke A to play those mind games, constantly going in for those crouches as he opted to go in for that peek on that angle, throwing off the crosshair placement of Deoxys. He was not ready for it, he didn't expect it, and it was the side of the defenders to come out on top, take us down to a 2-6, and also very importantly get this operator back onto the hands of Cactus, because he needs this operator to make sure he gets his defensive hold down even stronger.
Cactus here, he's gonna cover there and be sight Maverick, letting out those dark covers, and Cactus will find a kill to Paradox. Deoxys takes out Maverick. Cactus with the second kill, and he's crazy on that operator, trying to look for the third. 70 HP to work with. Deoxys with the shock darts. Meanwhile, Master, he's gonna be pushing C long, but the spike is on Relic. And Team Fangs here, holding it down, playing it defensive. They have that man advantage, utilizing that Hunter's Fury just to get a little bit of damage off. Not gonna exactly be fruitful, but the Rat Syndicate, they're gonna press on.
Playing it a little bit slow, trying to get as much map control as they possibly can. Garage control has been established, but C-Long control has not. The camera does spot out one of the members on the back end. They know for a fact that the garage push is going to be already in, and a C-side execute is on the table, ladies and gentlemen. The push is going to be coming on through. Deoxys pulls out the recon drone to see what he can find. Does spot out one member, but it's going to be Radmaster. They can pull it into B2's head as soon as he peeks that corner. Beautiful use of the recon ball, and also contact being made, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be 3 versus 3 on the map, and a very much possible situation for the side of Rats, and they get to clutch it out on, but they do need to be careful, because you do have to remember the ultimate is still present from the side of the Rays, and Radmasters, he could be the one to shut everything down for this defensive retake.
And here comes Master with the showstopper. He's gonna pick up the kill off the Smoke A. No defuse for the side of Team Fangs, and in comes Big Shell. Cactus looking for the shot. Relic and Master to clean everything up in the offsets. Unfortunately, amongst during that process. 7 rounds secured for the Rad Syndicate. His 5-round lead. A very different story compared to the beginning of map number 1. Team Fangs, they had the dominance before, but now it's going to be the Rad Syndicate. You know, what's going to happen in the second half, I have no clue. But in this next few rounds, it is really up to Team Fangs. You know, they want to secure, and they should secure at least 4 rounds in the first half if you would fare better on the attacking side. They need this map number 2 very desperately, and this is going to be Cactus here, whipping out that Blade Storm. And meanwhile, Paradox looking for a possible pick-off there on the C site. The Rat Syndicate, they want that seaside again. It seems to be good luck for them.
Seaside is constantly being empty as well. And this is smart from the side of Fangs. I do understand what they are trying to do. They want to flame for the retake, but when you are on an eco round of your own accord and you constantly are seeing that the side of your opponents are opting to go in for such a play, they're opting to go in for constantly going down onto the seaside. They do need to be careful, but with the ultimate coming down from the back end, it's going to be Fangs and Eyes being able to get a couple of kills of their own. Goalie with a double kill. The ultimate not really getting a lot of fruitful results, but in the very long term, it was the gunfights coming out from their angle. But look at Relic. Relic's positioning is gonna be prime, ladies and gentlemen. Relic's on that flag, and Paradox is going to come in as a backup. 2 and 8 on the scoreboard. What was that play? Relic's on the lurk constantly. This guy is the real boogeyman, ladies and gentlemen. One after one. This guy is always the person to look at because he is the backbone of the entire team, and he is gonna be the one to shut you down if you don't look at your flanks properly.
You gotta fear those Cypher players that are so good on the side of attack. They know how to maneuver and make their way through so sneaky, relying on that raw aim solely for the fact that Cypher is so utility based, and we can see that Relic very comfortable in his element, completely playing those mind games. Beautifully done. Now we are in the next round. Paradox finding the first kill, and that is going to be the Hunter's Fury popped by Deoxys. He does get a bit of damage down. Maverick finds one, so does Master. That's going to be a return, and it's down to this 4v3.
Down in this 4 versus 3 scenario, who's going to be able to come out on top? It's going to be Deoxys opting to go in for the plan from the back end, but Paradoxus, he does not hear the footsteps and he needs to be careful. His gun barrel is showing. He doesn't know where to look. Okay, he's playing the mind games. He literally goes in his face and he's like, oh, hello there. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, it's me. It's just okay. I'm just going to be shooting a couple of bullets into your skull and I'm going to be able to take you down, but it's going to be Radmaster getting a little bit of a revenge kill for his own teammate. Shots are going to be coming on in. Gets one on the Smokey, and Ice plays the mind games on Fang B2 as well. That's gonna be 2 and 9 on the scoreboard. But honestly, Smokey, he was having a little bit of fun. If we had the player camps, I'm pretty sure that Smokey would have said the knock-knock joke himself.
Gun here.
I'm sorry, but that was a really funny scenario. Paradox holding the angle. Why Smoke A walked straight up to him instead of just clearing him out and making Paradox panic, shooting into the air? That was, you know, a little bit of a funny moment there for me. But we're gonna move into the last round before the swap. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. 8 kills for E2. And that was a shot. Cactus! Let him have a second chance and he's gonna take you out.
Right here.
Cactus cranking up that op again. He's hungry, he wants more. Deoxys with the owl draw. The Rat Syndicate seems like the site might be the site we're choosing this time. And we do see the Team Fangs infesting the area in Garage. And the links to B site. Coley waiting very patiently. Does have the Boombot to work with. Master firing away, hopefully trying to get a bit of damage off. But the Rat Syndicate, they're going to look for a rotation, which I do believe is a very smart choice. But Team Fangs, they should look to try and get 3 points at least to end off this first half.
Let's see what we can find at the bare minimum, as all of the members are going to be making their way down onto the A side itself. Mates are going to be coming on through, but you do have to remember that only B2 is the one holding down from the side of heaven, but he needs to be careful. Smokey holding down from the back corner. He was not expecting a bad lad peek coming out from the side of Deoxys. He gets taken down almost instantly, and already, ladies and gentlemen, one member has gone down from both sides. But look at Paradox's positioning. They're not opting to smoke down the heaven angle just yet because they know for a fact that they can play it down differently from their side. But with the positioning going on through, it's gonna be Paradox's, but Cactus and Colin, they're gonna be able to get a couple of trades off their own. The pushes are gonna be coming in from the back, and Deoxys, he hears the steps, but he opts to pull out the recon bolt at the wrong time. There's more than enough time to go in for a couple of his own plays. The smoke is gonna be dissipating soon enough. Has the headshot angle lined up. Gets the first initial headshot, trying to go in for another peek, but Paradox is opting to go in for that updraft. gets shut down almost immediately. If he opted to go in for the spam just a little bit earlier, this would have been perfect for him. But he was not able to find it out. That's going to be 3 and 9 on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. And a very good end to the first half. This is going to be giving me deja vu to what happened in map number 1, with only one more round going in the favor of Rat Syndicate this time around instead of the side of Team Fangs.
And now we're gonna move into this second half. Team Fangs on the attacking side and the Rat Syndicate on the defense. Now this is gonna be a true test of Team Fangs' communication and plans. They have to pull out all the tricks they have in the bag, or the Rat Syndicate is gonna take this map, call it a day, and they will move over to the next stage of the competition. Team Fangs here. Now we're gonna see B2 place that trap wire just to watch the backline, but it does get taken out by Paradox. A very aggressive stance, takes out the spy cam as well. That was so quick! Paradox!
Nah, like, he's like, Cypher, you have toys? I don't think you should be playing with toys. You're a grown man at this point. He wants to be making sure that he knows that for a fact, but Paradox getting so much value out of his own smokes as well, actually gets killed out on the cactus before he gets out. He just does not deny the utility of Cypher. He denies everything, and also the jet in this accord. Absolutely incredible, and he gets the alt point of boot. So much value out of this one pistol on Paradox. You're an absolute madman setting up your team for a perfect success if they play their cards right.
Paradox, and that's gonna be a nice finding a kill to smoke a return from B2. Now Masters, the next line of defense here on the C side as he waits for his teammates to come across. Paradox comes in from the back, and that was a little bit of a mishap there for Team Fangs, not watching their backside. Now B2 and Coley, they're gonna find a kill. Master does as well, and Paradox looking for the last man standing. That's gonna be Coley. Triple kill for Paradox himself, and you know, Paradox, he has not given up for the longest time. He has been with the Rat Syndicate from day one, and right now to see him really in his element, having a team that really works with him, making it so far in the competition right now, is a really good sight to see. Now the Rat Syndicate securing 10 rounds on the board. If Team Fangs want to look for a chance to still stay in the running, they have to put their foot down right now.
Let's see what we can find here on this particular round, because you do have to remember, them losing out on that pistol round is going to be a massive hit for them. And they need to go in for an eco in this round as well to try and make sure that dreams are alive moving on forward. But the offset, it's feeling himself. Even though he does get tagged out by the recon drone, he doesn't care whatsoever of what happens to him. A nice chance in from the back end as Paradoxes does get one kill to get a double kill of his own accord. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the showing of skill that you would expect coming out from the side of Rat Syndicate when it comes to their own round. But you do have to say that Fangs, they had a really good chance of taking that round away if they got that kill down on the Deoxys, but honestly, this guy, when he's feeling it, he's such a danger man on his own accord. Looking at the scoreboard as well, Deoxys with 14, Paradoxus with 16. These two guys, they're just popping the hell off on this one.
The Rat Syndicate, and that was a force buy round as well previously for Team Fangs, so that is not a good situation for them. Now forced to eco, they gotta pull off a thrifty with a miracle here. Relic's gonna find the first kill, and Master does as well, taking out Maverick. And now it's a 3v5. Paradox waiting very patiently, so quick to get an operator this early. Holy! With a beautiful headshot, Paradox gonna slap a dagger to Smoke A's head, and Master to end it all off. And that is gonna be match point for the Rat Syndicate. What a performance, and here it is. Haven is a map where the Rat Syndicate goes absolutely nuts on. It is their playground. And previously when we watched Team Fangs go up against Playground Esports, they pull off a really amazing performance as well. But what it seems to be is that the Rat Syndicate, I think they are nearly unstoppable here. The amount of confidence, not only coming out of Paradox, we see it from Deoxys, Relic, Anais, Master, everyone. So, you know, Haven is definitely, you know, the home of the Rat Syndicate here now as we move into this round, which might potentially be the last. Master killing the spy carrier here. Smoke A and Coley, they're both gonna get a return kill. And Deoxys What was that? The Ox is looking for the next kill, and he gets fired at from Coley. Triple kill, and this is the time for Paradox now. This is definitely a chance that he can take. It's a 1v3. Two members are extremely low on the side of attack. Now Paradox here, he has the Sheriff and Operator in hand. He's gonna wait very patiently, switch up his position. He's gotta watch his back. Paradox inching his way through. Might go through garage onto the C site, and it looks like his little bit of anticipation might just be right.
He plays his cards right. He could be shutting everyone down right here and now, ladies and gentlemen. But Paradox, and he actually opts to going for the shot straight through the smoke. He gives away his positioning. He should have switched out that operator to pick up the vandal that was on the body of the side of window itself. And now he's in this retake situation in a pretty detrimental spot. He could have flushed out this round, but he's not going to be able to. Instead, it's going to be Golil with the off angle, getting that kill down onto him. 4 and 12 on the scoreboard. And I do believe that all the members of the side of Rad Syndicate, they got a little bit too happy at the very end of them having match point at such a crucial round. But you do have to remember that if you give your opponents the chance, if they're a really well coordinated team, they are going to retaliate beautifully. And Fangs, they did that. All of these over aggressive peaks coming out from all the members of the side of Rat Syndicate, one by one pushing on down from the side of A Long. Not really going to be working out for them, but hopefully they're going to be able to bounce back from it and come back even stronger in this round and close out this match.
Indeed, the Rats in here. Team Fangs, they will try right to the very end. The Cactus here, he's gonna find first blood with the operator. Deoxys with the Hunter's Fury picks up a kill onto B2, and it's an even playing field still. We do see the ultimate very much ready for Coley here. And he is going to be lingering on C long while that's going to be Cactus taking out Deoxys with the operator. And they've got to be careful. Now Paradox stationed up in A tower. He's going to keep a lookout for the A site. But little do they know, Team Fangs, they're gunning for C instead.
You need to be careful. Too many of these rounds going in the favor of the side of Fangs basically gives them the momentum, and you are destroying your own economy. And a comeback could very much be possible if they are not careful, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke completely covering up Relic. Relic asking for help in the background onto the side of C-Long. That voice line always cracks me up, the way Cypher says help. But at the very long term, it is going to be 4 and 12 on the scoreboard still, ladies and gentlemen. And with only 30 seconds left on the clock, they need to opt to go in for this push. Relic, he knows exactly where all the members of the side of the attackers are going to be at. Fangs, they need to be careful of how they execute down onto a lot of these sides. But with only 20 seconds left on the clock and the spike making its way down onto the B side, the rotations are going to be coming on through as well. Paradox is opting to go down onto the side of A Heaven, but little do they know, it's going to be onto the side of mid, where the main push is going to be coming on through, and Ayas pulls out the paranoia in his hand to see what he can find to get as much value as possible out of it. Hold down the defensive angles for as long as they possibly can. But Paradox, he's in the prime position to get one pick of his own before the push is going to be coming on through. But Ayas, what is that game sense? You don't even see his gun, man. He puts a bullet in the head of Colin to take him out. The ultimate has been popped as well from the back end. It's going to be Paradox who's being able to find one kill. He's going to be able to find it onto the operator. And Ayas gets another one onto Maverick. But Smoke A is still alive and kicking, ladies and gentlemen. The Trollstars are not going to be enough to take him out, but it's actually going to be Smoke A actually with the run and gun. He's going to be able to find it. The defuse is going to be going on through, straight through the smoke as well, with half defuse being present because of his teammate. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be 4 and 13 on the scoreboard. Smoke A bites a couple of classic bullets as well, as a 2-0 set has been found out for the side of Rat Syndicate. And as you said, Oppo, Haven is their playground, and they take it in a very dominant fashion as well.
Indeed, what a cheeky diffuser. We just saw it there on the instant replay. A tick of health was what Paradox survived. And that is going to be a wrap. Congratulations to the Rad Syndicate for making it over to the next stage of the tournament. And we can see there that Deoxys, he's right at the top of the board. That was extremely explosive. Now let's head into the WD Black match highlights and talk a little bit more about what went down here in this best of 3 in the lower bracket of the semifinals. Now let's start with Team Fangs. I thoroughly enjoyed their journey in this tournament. Team Fangs brought in something fresh. They showed us that they had a very unique playstyle. They showed us that they take risks, and if you aren't paying attention to what they're doing, they will catch you off guard and they'll show you what they're made of. Team Fangs had a really good run here in WB Black Cup. We had no clue who they were. We kind of heard of them, but right now they have definitely created a name for themselves, and I have definitely fallen in love with this team. Team Fangs, it was great to watch you guys. And on the side of the Rad Syndicate, you can definitely say that they are back. That performance on Haven is one for the books for sure, and that amazing comeback in map number 1. They were down by 4 rounds. They were down by 6 rounds. They came back, they brought it, and they just took it by storm. And that's just crazy to me. So, you know, the Rad Syndicate, a very well-deserved win. Congratulations once again. What are your afterthoughts here, Aggressive?
For me personally, the main problem that I saw coming out from the side of Team Fangs is that they as a team, they're really good when it comes to making up a lot of the plans. And you can see when it comes to their raw execution capabilities, they are really good. When a lot of the things that they want to happen, they're able to come out on top. But as soon as something goes south, maybe one person missed a shot, maybe one person was not able to understand the call out, or the rotation came out a little bit too late, it's just an absolute breakdown. They're not able to adapt on the fly, and this is something that comes with experience. The side of Rad Syndicate, they have a lot more of this, because you can already see sometimes the plan just goes haywire, but still it is the last few remaining members being able to clutch it out, primarily because why? Because they understand what to do in these high pressure scenarios. They understand that, hey, maybe this is the thing that happened wrongly, and maybe we can clutch out this round in this possible way. And it all comes down to understanding how your team plays, how all of the members are going to be playing together as a strong unit, and then you play around your teammates. And that really did not happen for the side of Team Fangs, and I'm really hoping that they iron those factors out and understand that sometimes things are not going to be going the way you plan it out. So you need to be opting to go in for much more of those on-the-fly tactics instead of relying on pure concrete things that you have talked about previously. Because in the game of Valorant, it's absolutely random. Anything can happen. Shock darts could be raining in from the sky from one side of the map to the next, and you could die out to it. Could be the Oxus throwing out the shock darts. We never know.
Oh yeah, the Oxus with his lineups, that was absolutely insane. Congratulations once again to the Rad Syndicate for making it over to the next stage of the tournament. And until next time, we should be able to catch Team Fangs in more action. Thank you guys for joining us. This is the WD Black Cup that you're watching, powered by AMD Ryzen. This is the end of the first half, and we will have the second half in a few hours. So remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. You don't want to miss out on the action. It's great to watch all these new and upcoming teams. Now, remember, you can also grab the best deals on WD Black products at our e-commerce partners. Multitask and game with ease with AMD Ryzen's 5000 series processors. Links are in the description. Check it out. It's really cool to look at. Thank you for joining me today, Aggressive. You were amazing. The dynamic duo again. And my name is Apollonia. I was your host and caster as well. Thank you all, and we hope to see you guys later at the second half. So take care and happy gaming.